And welcome everyone to a Big Ten Network chat. I'm Andy Katz, pleased to be joined by Wisconsin's Brad Davison. And Brad, let's first start with life on campus. I know it's not been easy at Wisconsin at the start of the semester. I've got friends whose kids have had to deal with a lot of issues and quarantine and all that. What's it been like on the ground there for you as a student athlete?
Yes, sir. Definitely looks a little different than a normal fall. It's pretty quiet on Saturdays, pretty quiet on the weekends. So we're all virtual. Everything's online. So our classroom has been our apartment. We basically go from gym to apartment back to the gym. That's kind of our routine that we're in these days. So very quiet. People are kind of staying hunkered down, trying to stay safe, trying to stay healthy. We're really just trying to maximize, the opportunities that we have right now.
So to that point, in my looking ahead to the season and being excited about it and putting Wisconsin as, one of the top 10 teams in the country and a team that could win the Big Ten, I was looking at a bunch of teams that have experienced players like Wisconsin, because I think this is going to be obviously like a season we've never seen before in any of our lifetimes. And you're going to need experienced, mature players to handle adversity. How much do you think already that has come into play for a team like yours?
We've been there. Even if you go back to last year, we went through a lot of highs and lows, a lot of ups and downs. And one thing Coach Gard always says is that adversity can either break you apart or it can bring you closer together. And so that was kind of our battle cry last year, is that, nothing was going to separate us. Nothing was going to get our heads down or divide us. And now you go into a summer where we were actually physically divided. We weren't able to be together. Here at Wisconsin, we actually stayed home for most part of the summer, if that was most suitable and better advantage to you. So now having the chance to come back together, we're all very thankful for it. But with that being said, we haven't had a whole lot of time to actually be together, work out kinks. But having a veteran group, a group that, has obviously played a lot of minutes, been in a lot of big games, had the highs and lows, it's definitely something that, is to our advantage. We're a really together group, tight-knit group. And like I said, we're going to take advantage of, every advantage that we have.
Yeah, to that point, Brad, it feels like if you guys, had to shut down for a week or two, hopefully not, but you've got enough experienced players that know what each needs to do that, it feels like you could pick it right back up. I mean, how much do you think that could, if need
Definitely.
be, that could play in?
Definitely. We know our system. We know what makes Wisconsin basketball good. We know that, the combination of all of our parts is better than, just the individual. So we have a lot of things that we already have figured out from being here for so long. But with that being said, that time together is invaluable. So, everyone's coming in with a different, hand to play. But we're very thankful that we do have a veteran group. But with that being said, we also do have 7 freshmen. So trying to bridge that gap has been huge with the time that we do have together. But we're definitely looking forward to actually getting the chance to play with one another in a live against someone else.
All right. So who's impressed you so far of those 7 freshmen?
Man, all of them in their own unique way. I think that's probably the politically correct answer, but Stephen Crowell is extremely skilled, can really stretch the floor, really great shooter. Ben Carlson, just really solid, physically gifted, does a lot of the little things on the floor. One of those guys that you want on your team. Both the Davis brothers, extremely athletic, can get to the rim, and kind of score on all 3 levels. So there's been a lot of people show a lot of different things. Whether it's, just in skill work or individuals. It's been fun getting to watch them play and see their skills on the court.
When I was looking at you guys versus Iowa and Illinois, you could make the argument, obviously, with Garza at Iowa and Io at Illinois, that they've got the star guy. And you guys maybe don't have that one player who's considered a star, but you've got a lot of great pieces, as you were just mentioning. As you look at this season, you even need a player that, potentially needs to get to 20, 25, 30 points.
Yeah, you look at, our last 8 to 10 games last year. We had different leading scorer just about every game. What it does is it makes us multidimensional, very versatile, and a tough matchup to guard. We go into scouting reports, and if teams only have 1 or 2 guys, it's a little easier to plan for. But when you have 5, 6, 7 guys that can all score in double digits every night, you got to account for all of them. And you got to do what you got to do to kind of pick your poison. So that's something that we pride ourselves on. And we know that, for Wisconsin basketball to be its best, we all got to pull our weight. We all got to, buy into our roles. That might not be scoring 15, 20, 25 points, but it means, those other little things that helps us be successful.
I mean, how do you explain last season? I mean, I was with your games early in the season in Brooklyn, and no one could shoot that weekend. Then you turn around and blow out Indiana at home. I was there for that, and I know Micah Potter was a big difference once he was eligible, but it really was night and day for that non-conference versus the latter stretch of conference to end up getting a piece of the Big Ten title. How do you explain it?
It was a roller coaster ride. Lots of highs and lows, kind of the hills and valleys of the season. And like we talked about earlier, we battled a lot of adversity. You know, a lot of stuff went on internally, externally. And, you know, we stayed knitted together. We stayed extremely tight. We believed in each other. We trusted one another. You know, we all put the time in. We always just say, trust your shot. You can trust your shot. You can trust your ability when you put the time in, you get the reps up. So just a combination of staying together, believing in one another, and continuing to trust the work that you put in. You know, in the end of the season, it's where you finish at the end, not where you start. So hard to explain it with words, but something that we will never forget and will cherish.
All right, so look, shooters like to shoot. Obviously,
Always.
this offseason was chaotic in terms of getting shots up. How is your shot?
I feel really good. Thankfully, I was able to have facilities back home where I was able to stay in the gym. You know, for a month or two when the gyms were all closed, I have a sport court in my backyard. So it's kind of throwback to middle school days, just me shooting outside in the backyard with my pops rebounding. You know, those are moments that I'm extremely thankful for, because who knows if we'd ever get to do that again. But so thankfully I had those resources for the first month or two, and then I had gyms that I was able to be in. So spending most of my quarantine in a gym, working on my shot, getting reps up, game-like reps. So I'm feeling really good. I'm really excited, you know, to get back out there and have some shots that actually count in the game go in.
And this team finally, obviously, I'm not the only one high on Wisconsin with a chance to win the Big Ten and be a Final Four team. You know the history of this program. It's gone in cycles where they've had teams that can make these kind of deep runs over the last 20 years. As you take a step back, once we get to this season, how optimistic are you that you guys have the pieces to make a great run toward a Big Ten title and possibly a Final Four?
Extremely optimistic. That's why you come to Wisconsin. You come to Wisconsin to win Big Ten titles and make Final Fours and make runs in March. You know, not only are we optimistic, but we're hungry. We felt like we set ourselves up in a really great spot last year to take advantage of those opportunities that were in front of us, and those got stripped away. And so having just about everyone back from last year, we know what it takes to get there. And, you know, we know that feeling of having it taken away. So once we get there this year, you know, we're going to be extremely locked in, hungry, confident, because for a lot of us, this is our last ride for it. So we're really looking forward to the opportunity, and we're extremely confident with what we can do this year.
Appreciate it, Brad. Stay safe.
Yes, sir. Always great to see you, Andy.